Welcome to this week's review, where we introduce Brendan Buster on the forum.
How you going there, guys?
Who has convinced me to revisit the Romeo and Julieta exhibition number 4. If you go back to our review, I think it was back January 2009, where we pitched it off the deck. We actually have that same box. Brendan's brought a Romeo and Julieta box of cigars, Exhibition 4's TPX Seppo 5, which he adores. So we're going to go back and retry the Abrillo 6 MCS, and then we're going to try the TPX Seppo 5. We used to love this cigar. In years gone by, we used to love this cigar.
I read a bit, I chased down a bit of information before we came into this. It looks like it's really dropped off. It's really dropped off.
Well, let's find out. I've had some 07s and 08s of Exhibition 4s, and I can say they're a bit better than the 06s have been, but they're still not anywhere near their best. The MCS Abrillo 6, which is the one we bagged and trashed mercilessly.
Yep.
Your initial impressions, both on wrapper, draw, aroma, or cold?
It's a very open draw on this one. When I look down the foot of it, it's very sparse. There's some really sparse spots in here, which it would explain it.
So if you look at the cross section of the cigar itself, do you see it?
Oh, look at that!
Yeah, tinge of green, which to me leads to a little bit of unfermented tobacco.
With that sort of underfilling, those little spots down there, it really closed in at the foot when I lit it, but she's still a bit green. It's a very, very open draw, so I'm getting really large, voluminous puffs at the moment.
Yeah, I don't hate it as much as it did previously. I don't like it much more. It does have that underlying bitterness to it, and I've come to the realisation it really is unfermented tobacco.
It's just not really doing anything at this point. We're only starting out, but
the time frames of R&J Exhibition 4, from the great to the poor, and why it occurred, how it occurred. Okay, they started dropping off. They probably started dropping off at the time that the Romeo and Julieta factory was shut down, and whether they lost a knowledge base from there, I'm not quite sure, but pretty much halfway through, we did do the first third because really I had nothing good to say about the first third. Mine's now burnt through to almost the last third, and it didn't even have that much of an easy withdrawal, but it's crap.
A disappointment.
It's a disappointment.
It's just nothing short of it. If I had tried this when I was first starting out with Cubans, mate, I would have had some serious questions about how I was going to progress. It's just not there, and it's not changed.
It's a classic case. We reviewed this 18 months ago. We pitched it over the deck at that point in time. Age doesn't always make a cigar come good. Crap in, crap out, regardless of how long it takes. Yeah. It didn't have any characteristics at that point in time which would let us to believe the tasting panel back then, which I think was Smithy, myself, and Kenny. Yeah. It didn't give us anything then to say that it was going to come good. 18 months down the track, really, it's just it's an over-the-deck thing. It's just crap.
I hate to put it in the ashtray because we have to see it later.
R&J Exhibition number 4's MCS Abrillo 6 come up for sale. Avoid them. We'll be back shortly with the TPX Seppo 5 and see if that's any better. Hopefully, because you know what?
Can't get any worse.
I need a good cigar right now. I really do. Welcome to the second section of this review, which is the Romeo and Julieta TPX Seppo 5, which Brendan has brought along, which he adores.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I use the term adore.
Yeah.
How far do we have to go back to find great R&J Exhibition number 4s? If we love the cigar, I'd love to take a couple back to Havana and Feb and share them with some of the people who are producing these cigars today, and just as a reminder to what this should be trying to achieve.
This was an early one I tried. It was recommended to me early on. It was from a similar 05 box. And sure, I was only starting out with Cubans, but I really enjoyed it.
But I'm guessing that what's occurred with the closure of the factory and the transfer of knowledge across to some new areas in different factories, some of those guys didn't come across. And some of that blend knowledge has disappeared. My draw is perfect. You better catch yours.
Mate, I haven't clicked.
Aroma at cold, muted.
A great draw. Hey, this is a great draw.
Great draw. It's clean tobacco with sweetness.
Just a touch of woodiness. Just there, but yeah, it is sweet. Nice on the lips.
Opening thoughts. on the 05 Exhibition 4.
It's lived up to what I remember it. I haven't had one of these for a couple of months out of this box. Medium to full opening. It's got a woodiness, but there's a hint of spice, but I think that'll come in later. It's really only starting for me, so it's just developing, but I love how it's starting. The other one just turned me sideways, mate, from the outset.
I love the cigar, can I honestly say. It is medium bodied. It's got that cake aspect with chocolate.
Yes,
and a little bit of rum aspect
not
in
sweet
there.
And chocolate,
just raisin, rum raisin.
Starting that other one.
Oh.
It was hell on wheels.
There's very few cigars that make me stop and prop and look. So far, when I only started this, it's done that. As a rule, your taste buds don't lie.
Mate, this has really developed nicely. It started nicely. I'm getting some wonderful flavours.
Yeah.
You were saying rum and raisin. I'm finding a bit of that fruit, dry fruit, more like just raisins for me. The complexity's there that was just so lacking in that 06. It was just nothing, and this is strides, mate. This is strides ahead.
Well, see, this is not 93, 94 cigar at this point in time. The reason for it is it has all the complexity, the richness, the diversity of flavour that I'm looking for. So it has that raisin, that cherry aspect. It has a beautiful core of now aged toasted tobacco.
Yeah, it's coming through. It's just pulling through nicely. Yeah.
This is what R&J Exhibition number 4 should be. This would be my top 5 cigars of the year.
You're joking?
No.
Really?
It's a beautiful cigar. Why wouldn't you recommend this? This stands up to Coros, some of the best Coros, Cohiba Robusto.
No, come on. Really?
It stands up because it's definitive in its flavour profile. It's Romeo and Julieta to its core.
6 months later, as you're saying, it's a different factory, but the difference is just remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable.
I haven't had as good an R&J Exhibition number 4 as this since 1998.
It's just gotten better. It really has. It's
medium full.
It's still saying medium, yeah, and it's getting fuller. It is changing as you would hope and developed. We're getting we had that raisin effect in it. It's settling back.
I'm getting Morello
now.
Cherries right now.
Yeah,
there's that old Morello Cherries,
and I'm getting that touch of spice because I'm putting retrohaling through my nose a bit, and the spice that I could find the edge of is just starting to come through at this point for me.
Well, I've gone from cake to Morello Cherry to sweet spice. I've just got
spice,
everything, every aspect. Coffee.
Yeah, I mentioned that in the break.
Lovely
coffees in the back.
There. Honestly, hate to say, if you can just get back to this blend, you have a winner. Forget your LEs, forget your regional releases. You have a winner. Okay, let's finish this off, Brendan. We got the HD. Christ, Romeo and Juliet Exhibition number 4, 05 STX. I'm giving it 92 straight up.
It's still staying there, mate. It's just not let us down, has it? In any way, shape or form. Crappy to say, but it's adding more as it goes.
Luscious, viscous, sweet, cherry, sweet fruit profile with a coffee core.
The coffee's still there, mate, and the spice never really came through.
No,
it didn't.
The pepper spice you're talking about here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So rate it for me.
Got to give it a 90. I can't go too high.
Mate, it's a 92 every day of the week. What an E4 should be, what an E4 was, what an E4 isn't today. It was just nice to revisit something which I hated, and then to compare it to something which was only 8 months earlier, which is brilliant. And such is the world of Cuban cigars. It's a public holiday here in Brisbane. Smithy's pissed off to a luncheon. Thanks, Smithy. It's great stuff. Lisa's working like a Trojan downstairs. Gotta love that woman. Ken we didn't invite. And and Wazza, after last week's performance, really, he's been sin-binned. You're good, because you brought the cigars as well as a fantastic bottle of French bubbly.